This is my 1991 twin turbo K-Series sequential Acura NSX that I've been building for nearly 2 years now. And in the last episode, we finally installed the body kit. I decided to go with the Pride wide body kit on this car. Very subtle yet effective. Now I have been reading your guys' comments. Some people love it, some people hate it, some people are undecided until the car is complete. Now I've seen photos of this kit fully painted, and in my opinion, obviously, that's why I chose it, I think it looks amazing. Today's goal is to get the rest of the exterior buttoned up just to make sure everything fits right. Obviously, it's gonna have to come back apart for paint, but it's very, very important to make sure all your body lines and all your fiberglass work is done, of course, before you hit the paint booth. So today we need to get on the hood, the trunk, the rear hatch, so the rear engine cover, the glass part, front bumper, rear bumper, headlights, taillights. Effectively get the whole entire exterior complete to make sure everything lines up like it should, all the body lines are proper, and if all checks out, we can finally move on to body work, getting this entire car ready for paint. To get today started off, let's get on the entire front end. So the hood, headlights, bumper. The hood I currently have, honestly, I don't know if I'm gonna run. I haven't decided if I want to run this style of hood or the style that's on the black NSX. I don't hate this hood. I feel like the NSXR style might look a little bit better. Nonetheless, minor details. Let's get this hood installed and see how it fits. Looking very promising. Okay, we definitely got some work to do. That side's way loose, this side's way tight. Let me spend some time. Let's spend maybe 15 minutes on this. I think I can get this to align very, very nicely. This is my wife's 800 wheel horsepower Evo 10. For the last few years, she was unable to drive it because it needed a new motor. Well, I got a new motor in it, and the car still has one problem left. That is a sticking headlight relay. Some odd reason, when you turn the car off, randomly in the middle of the night, headlights will come back on, draining the battery. The wife wants to drive it today. Unfortunately, the battery's dead, but fear not, because I have the perfect product. If you're a follower of the channel, you guys have seen me use this a few different times. This, my friends, is the Megavolt 24 Air from my good friends over at Wolfbox. Not only can you jump your car with this, but it also can inflate tires. This is the perfect at-home all-in-one unit. I literally keep it in the shelf back there because there's always something here that either needs to be jumped or needs a tire inflated. It features 2 start modes, standard and boost, and supplies up to 40 jump starts on a full charge. And just like that, my wife is ready to take her fully built Evo 10 to work. All thanks to the Wolfbox Megavolt 24 Air. Now I love how not only is this a jump pack, but it's also a tire inflator. Combining the 2 biggest pain points in life into one unit is a huge plus. This can inflate your car tire from completely empty to full in 40 seconds. And they also include all the adapters, say if you need to air up a basketball or some other random thing around the house, you have the adapter for it. If you would like to pick one of these up for your own ride, or if you're like me and you need to leave it at the house, I'll go ahead and link it down below. Seriously guys, this is the best all-in-one unit I've ever seen. Would highly recommend. If you want to save yourself some cash, use the code on the screen at checkout. Thank you to Wolfbox for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back on the NSX. Okay, I'm making progress, but this is where someone with some extreme knowledge of fitting panels would come in handy. For example, let me explain something. So this gap right here is big right now. It should be, there's no bolts. If we tighten that gap up, it should be right about like that. It looks pretty decent at the back. Now the door needs to come in to match the fender. If we pull the door in to match the fender, then it won't match the quarter panel. You see what I mean? I'm gonna do my best. I may have to get good old Val out to the shop and spend a few hours getting this thing fully aligned. So the fender to the hood is now done. On the passenger side, driver's side still needs work. Now I'm gonna try and figure out how to align the door to the fender while keeping it perfectly aligned to the quarter panel. Yeah, wish me luck. Here is the fender to hood gap. Solid. The door to fender, definitely workable. I don't need it perfect. Here's the thing. As of right now, I don't need it perfect. I need to know that it can be perfect on final assembly. That is within like a 1/16 of an inch. And then the rear quarter to door. Again, if you guys didn't see the last video, I'm gapping this entire car off of how big the gaps are on the black NSX. That car has all OEM gaps. They're pretty big back in the day. New cars are tight. Old cars are kind of loose. So this whole side, I'm very happy with. Now, the one thing I was missing and just neglecting to use was the OEM shims. I don't know how big of shims are acceptable. I would think up to like an 1/8 inch is acceptable. Even the brand new GT3 RS that I rebuilt used shims from the factory to get the body lines perfect, to get the gaps perfect. If Porsche is willing to do it on a $400,000 car, I should be okay with doing it on a $5,000 car. You guys get the point. Driver's side is looking really good. I still don't love the hood to fender. Realistically, I need to figure out if I'm gonna use this hood or not. What do you guys think? Obviously, I would ditch the silver stripe and all that jazz. The one thing I am worried about if we go to the NSXR style of hood is that I think it's probably gonna hit the vent, so I don't think it'll work. What do you guys think? Should we run this hood or should we not? Well, let's continue moving on, moving forward. Next up is going to be just setting in the headlights and then the bumper, and then of course aligning the whole entire front end. Not only was the body kit choice a massive question mark in my mind for a while, so was the front end. Were we gonna do the O2 Plus non-pop-ups or keep it with the pop-ups? After much thought and asking you guys and reading through the comments and just sit down and imagining and looking at cars on the internet, I've officially decided that we are going to stick with the pop-ups on this car for now. I think this is the right call. On the black car, I probably will go to the newer front end just to have both. You know what I'm saying? I think this car, the pop-ups are gonna be very just, pop-ups are different, man. They're just different. Now the headlight for the driver's side, they did modify just a little bit. Here's how it's supposed to look, closed in. Obviously when this car was wrecked, it needed some serious alignment and they slotted out the hole. Now if I can get this to fit properly, which I'm confident I can, that's pretty easy to fix. So we can take care of that later on. I was just going to replace the whole entire assembly. Y'all, That is freaking expensive. It's a waste of money. Let's not do that. You guys saw it in real time. I literally just set this headlight on, put in 2 bolts. That's how our gap is already looking. I haven't touched anything. This thing is coming together very, very, very nicely. Of course, that needs a little bit of work. Let's tinker on that and then knock out the driver's side, which of course that is the bigger question mark, being that that is the frame rail and unit side that we had to replace. Now the real question mark is going to be the bumper. When we put the bumper on, is anything gonna line up or will it be perfect? Close to perfect, like the rest of this car. I can finally see the vision of this thing coming together. We got a long ways to go, but man, oh man, she's looking good. This side slipped right on. Very, very, very workable. Look at that line right there. There's a seal that goes in there. There's no bolts or hardware holding any of this together. Fairly excited. Stoked on this side, other side not so much. The problem with the bumper is something with this bracket right here. I'm guessing it's a little tweaked, a little bent up. With the bracket off, I can get it to fit pretty freaking good. Okay, overall, very, very happy with how the front end is coming together. The bumper is going to need some work mating to the fenders into the hood. To get all that done properly, wheels got to come off. The car needs to be on the lift. I'm going to try and save some time for that later today. But for now, I want to move to the back. At least get that trunk on. Hopefully the rear glass. Again, the rear bumper, I genuinely don't know what to do. I guess we'll see how it looks with everything else installed. I might just run it completely bumperless. I don't really know. I want it to look clean, but I want all this crazy fab work exposed. Running this thing bumperless and building a big old like carbon fiber under tray diffuser might be the move. If that's something that you can build, or if you know of a company that can, let me know. On to other important things. Trunk adjust, set on there, not tight, not bolted down. Gap is big on this side. Gap is tight on this side. 3 minutes of adjusting. This will be sitting perfect. Let's get her done. Maybe I should have said an hour and 3 minutes. I'm gonna need my buddy Val over here. We got this gap pretty nice. It's a bit loose, which is easy to tighten up. Now this side is being a pain. It's good up front, but as you can see, when it comes out the back, it is just right up, butted up against each other. Of course, being fiberglass, you can only tweak it so much before you just crack the panel altogether. So I got it close. That's one of those things that me and Val are gonna have to spend some time on. I don't know if we're gonna have to do a little bit of sanding on the quarter or maybe on the wing. Either way, let's slap on the taillights. Imagine seeing this look right here, cruising down the road. What in the world? That would be insane. Let's go ahead, toss on the bumper. I don't think I'm gonna run it. If I'm being completely honest, I'll probably paint it, but I highly doubt I'll run it long term on the car. This look right here, again with a big ol' rear diffuser, like underneath the whole turbo kit, would just be insane. You see what I mean? That's just stupid. That's not even fun. It legitimately looks a lot better with no rear bumper. That's stupid. One final piece to the body puzzle for the day. It's going to be that rear hatch. OEM glass. Of course, it's going to fit great. The only problem is trying to get that installed by myself. It's a little bit sketchy, but let's see what we can do. I'm not even gonna attempt that. Last time I checked, that rear glass, the rear hatch is discontinued. Can get aftermarket Lexan, but I can also just wait a day or two, have Val come over, align all the body panels on the entire car, and install that with him and not waste a bunch of money. So here is what's left on the exterior before we can officially move on to getting it ready for paint. I need to get the front bumper fitting proper to the fenders and hood and headlights. I don't think that's gonna be a big deal, especially when we got the Legend Val in the shop. Fenders to hood, fenders to doors, doors to quarters, all that I'm very, very happy with. We need to fit and verify the rear hatch glass is nice and clean to the quarter panels as it comes right down here. This body line, easy. This side, giving me all the problems in the world. And then last but not least, figure out, of course, what we're doing for the back. I already have the new side skirts on order. I went fairly aggressive with the skirts and the front lip. I was planning on running the OEM rear bumper, so I did buy the Cybon rear diffuser. Again, don't think I'm gonna do that. I did toy around with the idea of just cutting apart the OEM bumper. I don't think I could get it to look as good as this, if I'm being completely honest. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Of course, the car is still looking very, very goofy. It needs some proper fitting wheels. The front end needs to be lowered down. It needs skirts. It needs a front lip. It needs some glass. It needs some paint. We got a long ways to go, but hey, we now effectively have a complete body on our twin turbo K-Series sequential NSX.